What up, though?
What up, what up, what up?
Yeah. We here now. Time to get it cranking.
You know it. What's going on, everybody? And welcome to this episode of Crucial Convos. It's your girl, F.L.O.R.
And this is your boy, Emery.
What's up, bro? What's been going on?
Ripping and running and ripping. What does the ripping mean?
You said it, I didn't. Why you get aggressive?
I mean, but people say it, though. Like, what is ripping and running? Nobody knows? All right. Anyway.
I don't think you're fair with your questions. You ask questions and you expect for us to give you an answer just like that. Can we think? Can we ponder?
I mean, I was just over it. But yeah, go for it.
I don't give a shit no more.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. No, I don't know. It's been moving around all day.
Ripping and running and running and ripping.
Yeah. I did have a little, I just had a studio session though.
Oh.
Yes, with me, my boy Cleon Edwards, my boy Jose Echeverria on bass. We had a little situation that we got into. They talking about coming over here tonight after the podcast. I say, pull up.
Yeah. Money got to be made.
Round two.
Yeah, that's what happens when you do.
Yeah, man.
That's
so we're gonna see. Yeah, we just that's it. Now I'm ready to sit there and talk to my home slice. How was your day?
Today was good. I feel like it's a Monday. I had to go back home for a funeral last week. So it's like I feel like I've just consistently been going. But hi, Kennedy. When I got home Sunday, apparently my body was like, all right, we're home, and fell asleep about 6, didn't wake up until 2. Ooh. So I'm still off trying to get back on schedule. But I did give a little light to this topic, right? Like I done a little scaling, right?
Uh-huh.
And we do have some very strong individuals that follow us, right? Do. So the initial reaction was, hell no, I want to be lied to. Be honest with me. Tell me the truth, right?
Uh-huh.
And I kind of understood where that was coming from because that was my initial response as well. Like, I didn't really understand do women want to be lied to? I think it was the secretly that threw me off because, of course, no one wants to be lied to, right? Like, no one wants to be lied to. So I was like, all right.
That's what we say, yeah.
Exactly.
That is what we say.
So then I was like, okay. Typically when Emery come, he do becoming a little awkward sometimes. Like we gotta expect it, we gotta expect that. But it always end up lining up, right? To make sense.
Say it again. Say it again.
It lines.
Say it again. Always. Okay. I thought I heard that. I just wanted to make sure my ears.
So the way that we as women would look at it naturally, we're going to say no. We're going to say no because we feel that we can handle our man coming to us telling us that he got a chick that lived 3 blocks up the road. We feel like we can handle that. because he was honest. I can't handle it. I'm be honest. I can't. I'm ready to fight. I don't know if I'm finna fight you. I don't know if I'm finna fight her. I don't know if I'm finna fight this front door to get out this motherfucker. But I'm finna fight something or somebody. Okay. Just what's finna happen. So then I looked further into it.
Uh-huh.
And then the number one question that women ask, I feel like it's a setup, to be honest, but it's, do I look fat? So if he was to come out and say, hell yeah, you do. Yeah. What is that?
It's the truth, though. When it's the truth.
Like, what is that going to result in with you? Or would you prefer him say, no, babe, you look amazing?
I want him to tell me the truth. That's what they're going to say. That's a lie, too.
Yes. But honestly, Em, I want you to tell me the truth so I can get to a point to where I can be comfortable and you can look at me and, be excited of showing me off. Because if you're not confident in me and I'm not confident in me, then it's just going to be us like.
That's real.
We just here. But if you can be honest with me and say, no, babe, like the way that it's sitting on you is making this side look bigger than that side. Like, I think it's a way that it could be done. What say you?
I agree with that. I think, like we were talking in the pregame, you're a little bit different at handling things logically. That's not a normal trick in every instance. So that is different, but it is a little tough to be able to take that kind of truth. That stuff is hard. I don't know people that could take the honesty of the but. So again, you would ask that question though intentionally to get the truth. You wouldn't ask that in a girly, just normal, insecure, needing a pat on the back kind of way. If you want him to be honest.
Correct. Because whatever he delivered, you're going to have to receive. So I was always taught, if you ask the question, you got to be prepared for the answer.
Yeah, you have to.
Like, you have to be prepared for it. So the second one was, is she prettier than me? Now, I ain't finna ask you no shit like that. Because I don't give a shit. I'm just being honest. I'm hungry, y'all. So y'all gonna have to bear with me.
Hey, I'll be smashing my little snacks. You know I do.
And then typically the boyfriend answer is no, of course not.
You can't. Like, real talk. That's not a... But that's, that's really... They want to say society. No, it's just our fault. It's what we do. We've been trained. We've been raised to lie.
So I'm sorry. My mother-in-law said, yeah, nah, you can go ahead and lie to me and tell me, nah, you're not fat. My mother-in-law said, fuck that. Be honest.
Lie to her.
I don't want that honesty shit. Lie to me. We'll be okay.
That's another way of being honest too. Because again, this is what we're trained. This is what. That's what we're supposed to do. There's no way you're supposed to tell a woman she don't look good in an outfit.
But Jackie, why? Is it gonna make you feel better? Like why? Hold on. Denise said, lying about an outfit not being flattering is different from lying about having another female. Absolutely.
Well, the severity of the lie is, but the lie is the problem. That
it exists, period?
No, that there is a lie. So if I lie to you about anything, a lie to me, they're equal. Well, not like equal as far as consequence, The lying is what I'm arguing is what we've been taught to do. So even on that smaller level about the little flirty stuff, we do that purposely. But by lying, because that's essentially what we're not really lying, but we are. You know what I'm saying? But by doing so and growing in that and learning in that, anybody that brings anything different is seen as an attack, which is a lot of what we see now in our society with our relationships. Is a lot of times because this stuff isn't like wrong, but it's just not, like I would never be like, yeah, you look fat in the dress. I'd be like, I liked you in that purple one. Or, babe, you remember that orange and gray, whatever, the little ensemble with the hat? Now she'll know from she be with me, she'll know exactly what I mean.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna laugh, I'm gonna smile, she's gonna be like kind of, embarrassed. You know how that go. That's just, but that's how I would do it. But y'all don't want to hear that stuff.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you always be jumping on us ladies. So let me ask you this. So if a man asks a bitch, is this pussy yours? And she say no.
What's the question?
Where do we go from there? Would you prefer her lie to you, or would you prefer her be honest?
I'm not gonna ask that question when I know it ain't. So
this you we talking. I'm your general guy.
I don't know if dudes do that for it to be literal or just to be told in the moment, because it makes you a little more aggressive, makes you a little more.
I don't know, because they really be riding with it.
Well, then that's a different kind of case. I'm not sure. Yeah, dude, I don't think it's just a. I brought this topic though because I just know this is a shock topic that people wouldn't think about at first, but once you finally think about it, you're like, well, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I love Jasmine.
What's up, Jazz?
Jazz say, man, just don't answer. Just my own friend. Just my own. don't even. Right. Dead ass. I agree with you to the extent of individuals lie to make their partners comfortable. But I do feel like it also builds resentment because they're going to run into someone that's going to be honest with them. Like, yo, sis, not trying to hurt your feelings. But, they can go to the health side of it. They can go to the, well, hey, let's go shopping. They can do a lot of things to open that door. And then what if she comes back and like, hey, I was talking to Sheila today and she was just really, honest and upfront about how I look. What do you do? Like what do you do when she feels like her friend was friending more than her man?
I think you have to accept what you got. You got to know what you got and be able to accept it. It just seems pretty obvious. You know what it is. What we front, because again, it goes back to how we've been lied to so much. And I'd be kind of hesitant to even say lie because it is technically lying, but it's not like you're, at least for guys, it's not malicious, but dudes are not told. I mean, if you fat for a guy, right? And if you fat as a chick, ooh, girl, I love your curve. Your homegirls, most of them will build you up in that outfit that you look a mess in, but you got enough confidence to wear it. That type of stuff is all to really just not hurt the girl's feelings, right?
I think big dudes get more play than big girls.
You said big dudes. Oh, maybe
way more play than big girls. I think you got some of the baddest chicks that guys would consider. You know what I'm saying? And they're with some of the guys that women would be like, no, he's too big. versus a slender guy, in my opinion, that's not going to run to a BBW.
That might be true, but I do know that most BBWs traffic come from skinny dudes. So that your statement can still be 100% true. That most of them ain't just going over there, but for all the bulk of the traffic is little guys. I don't know what that correlation is, but there's clearly something there. But yeah, but like my point is like there's no guy Lizzo, and I don't mean like there's no fat dudes on camera like who are famous. I mean there's nobody who's bigged up or who gets the pound. Oh, your curves are great, your curves are nice, body positivity, don't fat shame. That's not a thing, and that brings its own conversation. I don't really want to dive into all that. But that's still a lie. It's still a lie, in a sense, because it's like an attempt to deceive is a lie. At least that's how I was taught. So it's like you're deceiving me. You're trying to spare my feelings, so that the reason is usually noble, but in the long run, it's not doing you no good because you really. There's today. Women won't. Everybody think they're a 10 so much. They won't talk to you if you know what I'm saying. If you call them on it, like, wait a minute. Like I've seen these shows online. I've seen some other podcasts where this type of stuff happens when you call them out on. It's like it's not that you ain't even fine. It's just like if they're for guys and girls, stuff is just different. We just rationalize things different, but the whole reason why we lie is the pursuit of y'all though, because we want y'all. We feel like we've been it's embedded in us that if we finesse and be sweet, be nice, and do all the little stuff that we think you like, you'll be with us in a sexual way.
And that's true to a certain extent.
Yeah. So, but from doing that, if you're not on that same sexual marketplace, like when you get older and people are talking to you a little different, they're not as willing to lie. You know what I'm saying? Then the issues that have never been addressed come out.
They manifest and grow. They grow to a great deal and can't be corrected, in my opinion, for a very long time.
Yep.
They say most girls will lie to their friend, though. LOL. They can see a picture of the new girl knowing she's a 10 and their friend is a solid 4 and lie saying that the other girl is ugly.
They will. That's automatic. That's automatic. But that type of stuff that's what I'm talking about. That builds fake confidence, a false sense of confidence. If your confidence is built on a lie, it's not. Once you get confronted with the reality, it's gonna crush you, depending on how far, how
big to go,
how long you've been lying, how far you are in that.
Bobby say,
crazy thing.
I don't lie. I might not tell you something, but I don't lie. What's the difference?
He said he would withhold something.
Yeah, by omission is lying as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's no difference. And then the crazy part to me is when guys lie by omission and you still got to come to me later on to ask me my opinion on the certain situation that you're like, we might as well have killed this from the beginning. Like, you might as well just came in, threw your boots in the corner, mumbled about, what you was going through, and let's talk about it. Because if you're going through something crazy and you don't, and it can affect our household and you're trying to handle it on your own, you're lying to me when I come to you and ask, babe, what's going on? You okay? Yeah, I'm good. When the whole time you're drowning in your own head.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
No way around that. That's a bald-faced lie. Like, we can't make our intentions be the big joker. Because it's not. It's the action that gets judged.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. You lied, you lied. Now we in big trouble. The heat is finna be off tomorrow. When I was asking you what was up, what was on your mind, I mean, I literally know you, and I know when something's up and something's on your mind. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
And you lied.
And that's what I was about to say earlier. Like, it's hard for... So she asking you if she look a certain way, you say no. If her intuition is keen, she's gonna know, like Em said, that what you're saying is bullshit. Then that's when she ultimately gonna be like, all right, let me go, because your response wasn't what I was looking for ultimately. You know what I'm saying? It's the tone that you didn't give. It's the hesitation when you was like trying to figure out how to be like, nah, bitch, go take that off. You know? So when for me, just no, Mish.
Yeah.
Didn't you buy that Jordan jumper? I'd rather you tell me to put on a sweatsuit and I want to put on a dress, but that dress just ain't hitting. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. It's easier said than done. Because this, you really gotta. It's a lot.
But that's just like the episode we had a couple weeks ago, helping your partner heal. That's helping your partner grow and heal, being honest.
You have to.
So
lying ain't helping nobody.
Ain't helping nobody. And it's definitely not gonna help the relationship, because now y'all finna clash at her feeling like you've lied about absolutely everything. Where are you?
Confidence to be crushed. It's always best to be honest, but it's really hard, especially if you're not thinking this way. It's really hard to even think that way. How many times in a relationship have the guy or girl, they be like, what's wrong? And like, nothing. And they really try to play it off. There's the kind where it's like, nothing, I want you to know it's something wrong, but I want to talk. It's that one. Then there's the one where you really trying to, act like nothing's wrong. But you can still, the partner knows. And then that conversation never gets talked about. Another thing happened, don't get talked about. Another thing happens, that one gets talked about, but you angry from the other two, so it's too strong for me not putting the seat down or whatever the thing could be. Keep going. You're lying. And now we in this whole thing because of what you're used to. And then, the whole thing about it to me, it's deceit. Like she says, doing underhanded blank is a lie. That's deceitful. Yeah, it's all get out. There's no way. Lie's a lie.
And if you feel that they gonna perceive it the wrong way, or they gonna feel, then it's probably some underhanded shit. If you gotta question it, right, it's probably underhanded. So that's another thing that kills me. Well, what's your definition of underhanded?
Right, going too deep. Stop.
What you just done? What you
right? So Shamar says, "The truth hurts, but lying hurts even more."
I agree.
I think it does in the long run, but I don't think people think it does. I don't think people think it does. I think people would rather the lie in today's time. The majority would rather the lies.
Yeah, because they're comfortable. They're uncomfortable with being uncomfortable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all about just making their comfort good for them. And that's probably why a lot of people call me mean, because I'm just not about making you comfortable. I'm just not. I don't really care, I guess, enough. Like, if I feel like you need to be checked right then and there, then that's just what needs to be that's what needs to happen. I never do it in a disrespectful. I'm lying.
You often don't.
I try not to do it in a disrespectful manner, and I think I'm getting better at it. But I don't know. Sometimes it just is what it is. Bobby said, my uncle girl be cooking all the time. I asked him, what's wrong with your wife cooking? He said, don't say shit, eat, or leave it alone. I said, why not tell her He said, "You better not." I'm trying not to laugh, y'all, because I don't know why I'm picturing his uncle talking to him. Um, don't say shit. Eat it, leave it alone. I say, why not tell her? He say, you better not. There be hell to pay. So he just eat food that's disgusting because he don't want to say nothing to her to hurt her feelings, or
Yes.
hey, Shmara. Oh, so that's what it is. He don't want to hurt her feelings. Okay. So
It's not gonna help.
no.
Not
And
in
then
the long
he's
run.
eating dirt.
Facts.
So you just
Losing on both sides.
man, because I know your fast food bill is extra. If it ain't, I know
Right.
just you don't even eat for taste. You just eat for nourishment at this point. If that shit is nourishment. Right. If you was to get some good food, would you throw the good food away, or would like like?
No, there's some stuff I ain't gonna be able to do.
That's a loyal husband.
I've done that before on one time. First time I didn't like make no faces with him. A couple of weeks after that time, I was like, yo, that little stuff you made, that wasn't it. She was like, I didn't think so. I'm like, yeah, well, all right. That's it. That's all I want to let you know. Because I don't want you to make it again
And listen,
that same way. It ain't gonna work.
Eric be like, "Hey yo," he be, you
Like,
you
a
got
little heavy handed on the salt this week, huh?
yo, you got to back up because this right here, like yo. But I think a lot of times you know, us, we've been together for so long to where it's certain dishes that he makes that he's really good at, and there's certain things that I make, you know, that I'm really good at. So, and he eats totally different from me, but he gonna tell me, and I'm gonna tell him because that's what's gonna help. Because, like you said, you gonna make it again, and you gonna look at me to taste it again, or you gonna expect for me to eat it again, and I'm probably gonna accidentally drop it on the floor.
Yeah.
Probably on purpose. Just being honest. What's up, Ned? Where you been?
What up, bro?
Feel like
What up, Shmara?
you ain't been stirring the pot in a couple weeks.
He got a little bit to pour in that pot. He sure enough do.
So the next one up, individuals wanting to be lied to. Is it rude if I cancel right now? The boyfriend or the best friend? Definitely not. They'll understand.
Yeah.
No, that's rude. Especially if I'm expecting you at 8 and you don't cancel until 7:30. That's rude.
Yeah. Should have just told me no, you ain't want to.
Just tell me no, you ain't coming. Like,
plain and simple.
If I'm gonna give you shit, I'm gonna give you shit. And I'm gonna give you shit either way. Because you're gonna end up not coming. Right? So that's opening you up right there. If you tell me you're not coming, that gives me a chance to deal with it, get over it, call you afterwards. You know, like you said about the gig, you know, back in the day. Like, it ain't no point in you coming up with no excuse about it. Just, yo, Mish, I'm not gonna make it. I thought I could, but I can't. You know, something came up. It was more important. Like, all right, bitch, I understand. You gotta make that coin. We'll be here to party later, you know. So yeah, that. And if my boyfriend or my husband would assist me in lying a lot, I would feel like they was lying to me at some point, if not often.
Man, that's because we lie. I don't think we realize it as much as it is. Like, the most blunt people are always seen as rude, right? And even the most blunt people are still not the most honest. They speak up way more than the regular folks will. But there's a lot of stuff they still keep to themselves, and right, about just everything. And sometimes not saying nothing is just as much,
That's my
omission and commission. Yeah, it's the same, it has the same effect. But I'm telling you, I think in the world, it's just what it is because we're trying to spare our feelings and our inadequacies. Just show because we can't accept it.
Yeah, I feel like that's a justification. But then, like the statement earlier, the lying ultimately hurts more. So why not just rip the Band-Aid off in the beginning? Maybe that's what needs to be learned, that lying does not protect feelings. Lying may get you out of hot water for a minute, but it still don't protect the feelings. Like, so Denise say, I saw a TikTok where the guy said only women are in love with him. Hold on.
Only women who are in love.
Right. Only women who are in love with him think his eggplant is big. If they don't like him or aren't in love with him, they let him know that it's small. So do men want women to lie?
Yes. I don't know. You know what? I really wouldn't. I couldn't answer that because legit, I don't think I would ask nothing that I wouldn't want the answer for personally. No joke. If you don't know your own size
that you've lived with all your life
in real life, if you don't know, then it's on you. If you ask that question, then she'd be like, "Nigga, please." You know. So, but yeah, I don't even know if I don't know if dudes. I don't know if they ask that. Not in real life. So just like Ned just said, we lie to spare feelings. I do it at times. We all do it at times, bro. We definitely all do it at times. He says, my bluntness cuts. That is real. Because sometimes it'd be a little too much. We all do that. Those of us with this gift and curse. It can be too much sometimes, you know. I think that's a natural reaction for just how we are, because it's like sometimes we want to jolt it into folks, help them see, like, quit acting crazy. Bobby say, you gotta pick and choose your battles.
I agree.
That's the point.
I agree. Because you definitely gonna win them all.
But the thing is, though, if you gotta lie, you still lying. So if it ever comes back up, or when it comes back up, and you ever are, honest. I've been into it with my mama or my daddy, or one of them, or probably both. And they've asked me a serious, what's wrong with you, for real? I've been like, nah, nothing. So we all have reasons for it, for why we lie. Mine was, I ain't even tell you, you ain't listening. You ain't gonna do nothing different. And it's gonna be just some more mess. I'm gonna get to arguing, get loud, probably get in trouble for nothing.
That's when I just say, I'm too honest if that's the case.
So that's one why people don't lie. Mm-hmm. I mean, we'll lie because that's like, not today, not today, tomorrow maybe. So, and even as an adult, I've done that. But I know people just do that. Sometimes it's like, Then there's times you go right in, like blah, 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 woo-de-woo, but because I've been lying, that's all coming out.
Yeah, right.
And it's a big explosion. So Ned say, I'm in a place right now where I really want to say what's on my heart, but I pull back. Yes.
And that's major for you. But then another thing that I want to say to that too is, unfortunately, it's hurting you. Because you're walking around with those unresolved feelings that you just got to carry and you can't dispense,
Yeah. That's the thing. So, like, even in this situation, there are women who swear that they want somebody who can be vulnerable, who can open up and express themselves. And then if a guy does, he's seen as weak. You tripping over that? Or, he was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. Because you've been lying anyway. But I was, to Ned's point, let me put it up. Some people don't want to understand because that's how they use our bluntness against us. That's true. Oh, here we go. It says when my emotions are raw, my go-to is to say I'm good. And that's why, because if you come out there, to people that are not ready to embrace it, even though they told you I don't need somebody who's in touch with his emotions or whatever, be able to talk and speak about what's really wrong. Sometimes when you do it, it's thrown right in your face. So you got to go right back to I'm good, because if not, you know, go to jail, or it's just gonna get ugly. Because men are, you know, it's a lot harder. Well, I don't know about what these days, but it's usually a lot harder for men to, you know, open up and say anything. That's kind of changing, boy. It's some mud ducks out here, buddy.
Well, I mean, because I don't know. I'm a venter. I'm a sharer. I'm a talker. And when my emotions get to a place of me not being able to control them, I have to talk out my thoughts, because if I don't, my thoughts will get the best of me, and then it'll go to my actions. And then, like you said, I'll end up in trouble. So, I'm not for hurting myself. When you have to keep your emotions and your feelings inside, that's, to me, that's detrimental to your health.
Yeah.
Because you go to other vices to, you know, help you get through it. And then the person still don't even understand how not to cross that line of boundary again, you know, because you just chuck it up with a I'm good, you know.
Right.
But
right. No, for real.
We have to teach individuals what line to cross, what line not to cross, and when I said I'm too honest, like, I've told my mother I don't like her. I love you to death, but I don't like you. And I know you don't like me because you've said it in so many words. The difference is I just came out and said it to you. But then I'm rude. I'm a bitch. I know. Thank you. Just because I was honest. So if I was to lie to you, that was going to make you continue to do what you've been doing to me. Oh, no, I'm good. You straight. No, let's stop this. I don't like that. And I don't like you for doing that. Are you going to change this for our relationship to continue? Or are you going to, you know, keep it going for our relationship to just squash? But again, I've been on my journey for a very long time, you know, so for me to be able to vocalize what you're doing to me, that's not hard for me. It's not hard for me at all. Bobby say people only learn from pain and pleasure.
I like that.
I've never heard that before.
Me neither. What's the other one he said? The reason for sharing information is so you can do something with it. If I don't believe nothing can be done with the information, then I'm not sharing it. I'm not getting involved.
I hear that, but who are you to determine what a person is going to do with the information that you share? They may not receive it or do with it what you want them to do, because they're not you. Right. But eventually they're going to evolve and, you know, break that down to where they understand it. And if they recite it back to you and that's not what it is, then you go further for them to really understand where you're coming from. Like, communication ain't just me saying it and then that's it. I even give people 3 times. Emery told me that wasn't enough, but damn, I even give people 3. You can't you can't just say it one time and be like, nah, I'm done.
That's true.
People got to learn you. You are the teacher to your world, your life, your ways. Don't just assume that I know because I've been married before. Don't just assume I know because I've been a parent.
Right.
Don't just assume I know because I've been through this and I've been through that. My testimony ain't yours. So you have to ultimately be the one to be able to verbalize and say what it is that you want, what you've been through, how you don't want it to go. And if they don't, again, -3. If they don't take it by 3, then the shutdown, I understand. Oh, eviction, done, shut off. I get it. But at least give them a chance.
Yeah. That's hard to do, but you can do it.
If it's because,
huh?
If it means something to you,
Yeah, that'd be the problem. That'd be the problem. It's like, do it mean enough to put in the work that it's gonna take? I think that's a problem for a lot of people too.
yeah, because they
Like,
do.
yes, I should do it
Yeah,
clearly,
yeah, yeah.
but
The work. Dun dun dun. You know what I mean?
but that work also has us in the positions that we're in, or they're the reason why we're not in, because we haven't done the work.
Denise said there's a difference between communication and comprehension.
Absolutely, which is why my top two non-negotiables is compatibility and comprehension. Not just communication. Communication has been boiled down to if you can talk or not now. So everybody's talking, nobody's comprehending. And that'd be the hard part. And it said yes because some listen to react and then respond. That's exactly what it is. It's too immediate. I was reading this old it's this old it's like a handbook that my granddaddy gave me, just on stuff that men should do as a man. And then in that thing, it's old. It was older than him. He 90 something before he passed away. That book said men should take 1 to 3 seconds before responding to a question. I didn't know that there was a time frame, but I definitely knew that you shouldn't just jump right. That's an argument. Nobody listening.
But okay. So she said there's a difference between communication and comprehension, right?
Yeah.
Everybody learned different. I remember being in school and she was putting a math problem on the board and she was working it out. I still didn't understand it until I wrote it out on my paper, and I wrote it out and I solved it with my own hand, with my own eyes, like I controlled that. So I think we all expect, or some people expect, individuals to learn the way that they learn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think grace is given because the individual learns a little bit slower or a little bit different from you. I think people patience are so short to where it's like, oh my God, like you don't know this already? No.
Remedial.
I really don't. And yes, they may be remedial on the cleaning side or remedial on the financial side because no one ever taught them. So just so happened, you were the lucky contestant to take on this project and fix it, help it, mold it. That's ultimately what marriage is, y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no way around it. I
Ultimately,
remember we were talking to
Nakia.
Kia.
Yeah.
So it was about a year ago or so about that whole subject.
That's what marriage is. You will be lucky if you get two parties that come into a situation that know what love is, that know what sacrifice is, that know what handling finances is, to clean the same way, cook, same morals, same views. No,
Not happening.
No.
There's literally no way around it.
You're gonna have to learn that person up until throughout. They're going to have to learn you up until throughout. It's not going to just come. Like, goodness, you know how many marriages would still be together if that was the case?
Right.
Oh, my God. Right.
Yeah. So, probably say I try to prevent people from learning how I learn if I can because I'm hard-headed as hell. Nah, that is 100% true. I was just telling a good friend of mine last night, I talk to the people that listen. If you're not really listening or not trying to, it's pointless for us to talk. It's just pointless. We can just leave that thing alone, not even have to worry about it.
My bad.
Yes, that's the issue with most women. What's the issue? Man. Yeah.
It ain't always our head.
Yeah, I don't know what he was talking about exactly. But us lying, this to kind of mosey back, us not being honest, and expect, like I said, we kind of just do it. Y'all are gonna get the lies. You know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy because, like, if we really truly understood what contouring our bodies really meant, it means you're reconfiguring it, you're changing it. Well, even as mad as it's gonna make some folks, makeup is a lie. You put the lines and different color stuff in. That person that you post with all the makeup and the filter, and you say you find. I know you've seen some too. I've seen some pictures of some women with spots. You said with spots everywhere, and when they put the makeup on, gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not so much. I mean, I don't want to get into that debate about it. Just isn't enhances our beauty. That's one way to look at it. But I think the issue is the deceit, which is what's under every lie. So lying isn't the only way to deceive, um, but it is a deceiving entity.
Tactic. Yeah, because I think a lot of females will be like, ball caps, is a big lie. I mean,
yeah, they they do though.
It goes on both ends. Like, that's honest to God. And sometimes it boils down, to the insecurities. I don't do makeup. Don't care to do makeup. Have a lot of acne scars. Been dealing with it all my life. I realized that in order for me to get from broken to healing is to accept who I am from the core out. So when I look in the mirror and I see my mom and the things that I don't like about my mom, I still see. I got to get through that. And I have to be able to look past that to see the true me of who I really am and who I love. So if you like it, you love it. Makeup is makeup. That's what you do,
Right.
But you also have to be honest with yourself and say why you're doing the makeup the way that you do. You feel me? Like those who cannot leave the house without a full face. Those who cannot, take a picture without a filter. Those are the ones that I really feel bad for because it's something way, way, way deeper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Ned said women that's the issue with most women. He said it's wanting us to be in their mindset.
Yeah. There's another way that it feels like women like being lied to when they ask for honesty. They don't usually mean it. Because if you bring the honesty, it usually will get flipped, because it's an attack. I seen this clip where it was a guy where his girl asked him, "Hey, how am I doing in our relationship?" or whatever like that. He was like, "Well, if I can be honest, we don't have sex how you promised in the beginning. Cook and clean a little, house been a little messy." He was like, "You don't really pay attention to, things that, I like doing, just that don't interest you, but I like it. It's all about you." And the girl's response was, I didn't like his tone. And he legit said it tone wise, no head shaky, none of that. He was just talking. Doesn't matter in a lot of cases because you just can't take the honesty of it.
Well, I mean, I told you to be honest with me. I didn't tell you that I wasn't gonna have no emotions afterwards.
Right.
I feel like a lot of people get it misconstrued. Just because I tell you to be honest with me doesn't mean that I'm gonna take it like a whole Incredible Hulk and be good with it. No, it's gonna be some factors after it, possibly, but that does not take away from the fact that I want you to be honest with me. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't want that reaction,
And so that's the thing, because that reaction happens for every case for some women. They're, overly emotional. It's just immediate. That is the reaction for every single thing in life for some women. And so going through that, it's like you got to weigh it out. Do you want to go through that? Which is another reason why you lied to her. So now y'all in the cycle. And then once you get anything like a real lie, it's big, everything is explosive. Like I've been lying to you and you've been all right with it because I got to lie to you. Now everything ain't cool.
It makes sense why there's a lot of bitter women out there.
Yeah, it's really ugly.
It makes a lot of sense to me now because for real, like Nancy, so I lie because I don't want to go through that shit.
Exactly what I'm saying. That I don't think women truly understand what that means to most men. Rap.
Okay.
I know where we're going, but I don't think y'all really get it.
I feel like from guys, any form of communication, if a female is not sitting with her hand in her lap, and her back perfectly arched and her nipples perched, like I don't y'all make it seem like anytime the communication comes, it's ear piercing, right? Like chalkboard scratching. So if that's the case, how do we convey what we feel?
With less emotion. That's the thing, because
hold on.
Again,
if you don't want an emotional chick, why is that the chick you chose?
No, I wouldn't say stay there if that's the regular reaction. But realistically, that's most women's reaction. Is usually that's just what it's going to be. And I don't think it's that men don't want an emotional one. We don't want one who's not emotionally aware. And too often that's the case. They're not self-aware nor they're emotionally immature in a lot of instances. So that means, like I was saying, when that's your reaction for every single thing, you don't have no other way of doing nothing. You don't have no way of taking anything or anything stressful. So that's your response. And if you with a guy who really just hates it, he won't be able to be with you. It's because I don't think you guys understand how irritating that is, because that's most of the women in our lives ever, from childhood on up. That's usually the case. And that almost cuss. That stuff is just, it's, I know how it can seem, but it's not so much that it's genuinely not that guys are intimidated by that. That's obnoxious. It's really not intimidated.
I don't even think it's intimidation. I feel like it's more of I feel like it's unfair. And I'm going to tell you why. Because men expect for women to be able to carry the load, right? Like carry it. I go to work, I come home, I pay the bills. So all the other stuff you should be able to deal with. Kids, school, doctors, my shit, yo shit, they shit, right? Like deal with it. As I always say, women wear a lot of hats. It's just how it's been written, right? So there comes a time where men become spoiled to that. So just because you was with Sheila and Sheila gave you all of that, when you get with Keisha, for whatever reason you got with Keisha, Keisha don't have all of that to give you. Once you realize that, why not break out? Why try to change or fix Keisha? And that's for women too. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that argument. I just think that the reality is there's 99 Keishas and one, Erica, whatever you said the first name was. I think that is that's a thing at times. I don't think there's not often a way around that for most men.
So is it fair to say that there's a lot of men with mommy issues who has traumatic residual drama from mom not knowing how to talk?
Possibly.
Okay.
Yeah, possibly. I think the bulk of everybody on the planet's issues was from the way they were raised.
Right.
I genuinely do. How you were raised is not your fault specifically. It's not your fault. You're the receiver of it. Sometimes it's not that bad. Sometimes it is. So, you know, 3-4 people can grow up in the same household with the same circumstances, have
Totally
3 or 4 different, completely different
for sure
outcomes of the same thing. So even as an adult, like if you haven't, we're going to be working on ourselves. We should be till we get up out of here. Because there's always something, like we were saying a couple episodes, a while ago. I'm not sure that people really get healed, get totally quote unquote healed. You know, just because of how life is set up. I'm not even sure. I'm not really even sure if we were really meant to get to this type of place in the creation of things. You know what I'm saying? I think we just supposed to, you know, lean on the everlasting arms and just leave it at that. But you know, as our minds keep growing and blah blah blah, we keep on asking why. But why is this? Why is this? I noticed my mama did this. I noticed my daddy did this. Maybe that's why I do this. You know, that stuff. You know, generations and thousands of years of that. This is where we at. So, but with that, tapping into all of that is why so many people have anxiety issues, and why so many people are more depressed now than ever before. On some levels, obviously, you want to, the better you know. If you know better, you should do better. That's just what it is. But some stuff, just leave it alone. For real. And that's kind of hard to say in this new climate of address everything, fix everything. But realistically, it's really too much. Take on some, try to hash that out, get to a better place with that, and then take this other stuff. That's why I believe it's better to compartmentalize and not try to just, because everything, if you've ever noticed, you be like, if you be talking to Eve, like, okay, next Tuesday, we're going to talk about this, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this. Something happened when Tuesday don't happen. So you got to push it back. Something happened again when that Thursday don't happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just always going to be like that way. It shouldn't, whatever, not fair, all this stuff is true. But it is the reality of most relationships, just life and how it goes. So the same here. I think it's all equal.
Oh no, I just, me, I feel like we all go through our bouts of healing and all of this to help others get to that same line. I feel like Eric really didn't know what family was. You feel what I'm saying? And then when he got with me and saw how my family dynamic got down, it opened his eyes to a different way of how family get down. So then I had to introduce him, or I had to welcome him into my dynamic. So even though he looking at family gatherings like, that's not really important, but he's seeing all of us get down. So to me, it's just unfortunate how certain things that's really small to me can break up something that could be so powerful, because individuals don't know how to navigate or deal. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you expect for me to accept you, flaws and all, but there are certain things that you just cannot deal with. It's too much when it comes to me. You know what I mean? And that's when I say it's unfortunate that grace is not given to other individuals the way that you ultimately would want it.
Yeah.
Just a little selfish, I think.
I think selfish is a good word for it, though. But you do just have your non-negotiable. There's just things you don't want to put up with. And in those cases, you just got to be like, this ain't gonna work.
I
for
mean,
whatever type of relationship.
sure. I guess the examination when you're a lot, like, okay. When you're a lot of a person, how dare you be like, I can't deal with a lot? Like, you're a lot. So you take me. I'm fucked up and I know it, damn it, but you finna deal with it. I'm fucked up too, babe. Nah, too much for me.
Yeah, but that's acting like all too much for me's are equal.
No.
Like if your issue, let's say your issue is not thinking of me when you bring food home.
Okay.
Let's say mine is calling you out your name.
Okay.
Those are not the same. So if you come to me like, babe, take me, I'll be forgetting to bring you food. I'm gonna do that. Know that from the beginning. And I'll be like, that ain't that big a deal. Okay. I can help, you remember, I'm gonna get on you a couple times, maybe you'll get it. Right? You got it. Boom. I'd be like, yo, I'm gonna call you every name I know, but I get mad. You're gonna be like, oh, this ain't gonna work. And I think that's acceptable. It should be acceptable because everybody's too much isn't the same. Again,
I thought we were talking about emotions. I get you, but I thought we was talking about the emotional part. Like, by you being a lot, not dealing with emotions, and she being a lot having emotions,
Yeah.
Right.
So it still applies to me, at least from how I'm looking at it. It's like if it's too, like, we can have the same thing. If you can take a big dude, I can't take a big girl. Like that's just what it is. It's not the ideal way, but if that's not, if you don't mind, you dated big dudes all your life, and the guy hasn't dated big girls all his life. You know what I'm saying? In the same sense, any other kind of comparison, like if I talk too much, too smart, too fast, too sharp, you do too, but you can't take it because you're gonna say something out of line or whatever, cuss at me or something, and then we gotta fight. We can't do it. But if you can take it and I can take it,
then it should be cool. That's kind of what Bobby just said. I had to walk away from a lot because I'm willing to hurt someone to get my point across.
That's the problem. That is the truth. Right. That is the 100% truth.
James said, "You win some, you lose some, but you live to fight another day." I mean, I guess I just look at it like you're gonna have to contribute some things that's gonna make you uncomfortable. You're gonna have to contribute some things that you don't want to because you're just in a selfish mind frame at that time. You're gonna have to entertain some things that you don't give a shit about because it's just not, like he said, it's not something that you're interested in. It's just a part of a relationship. Taking one person's world and your world and intertwining it. Hopefully you do it without lying. But I think people just don't want to deal with other people's shit. That's what I'm starting to come to the conclusion of.
I'm sure that's in there. I'm sure it is.
Like, I just don't want to deal with it because I don't want to. You may be an amazing person, but I don't even want to go through the path or the ropes to get to that.
Right. No, that's 100% real. Hey. All right.
I'm sorry. No.
This nigga fool. He said 2 wrongs don't make a right, but it makes a right now.
I think that's how a lot of people look at those situations too.
For real.
Through it,
Yeah. It's too hard sometimes. You know what? That does suck, man, it's almost like sometimes the best response is to show them what they, what they did made you feel. At least in our minds.
Right.
Is the immediate response, like if you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. It's like equal. You know what I'm saying? Um, but like, I don't think that makes sense if we really thought about it, because if our hits ain't the same, it
Somebody
won't.
will come out.
If my hit bothers you, then that's the thing for you. If yours is like, all right, you know what I'm saying? In a better way, we should find something that's equally
Yeah, yeah,
bothers
yeah,
you,
yeah.
or just not do that. I don't know. But then to not do that, we have to have our guards. I don't even know that we think our guards are up when we do stuff like that. I think we just think that's just instinct.
From what I've learned tonight, guards are definitely up.
Oh yeah,
Definitely up because all because of confusion, misunderstanding.
misunderstanding. Yep.
You feel me?
Yep.
Misconstruing, Um, she can say, I just need some affection, and he like, oh my God, you want all my time. She really just wanted a hug because she had a bad day. But because your mental is all about how the bills is gonna get paid, that goes back to that communication. When she asks you what's going on and you say nothing, I'm good. And she wondering why she ain't getting no kiss, no hug, no pat on the ass today, because you're in your head. Now you flipping out on her, all
Yeah.
because she's concerned about.
Yeah.
I hear y'all. Mm.
You just what? You just something just smacked you. What?
Because everything that y'all saying, I've done the work over these years to break my husband out of. Like, you can't expect for me to understand your trauma and you don't want to take the time to understand mine. You
Yeah.
can't come to me to vent to me for me to really feel you from a deep place if you're so, caught up in yourself to where you don't want to understand mine.
Yeah.
I don't. I've done work. I've done work because I know that I'm a different breed. So for him to understand where I'm coming from, I'm going to have to break it down, in a way and I explained it 2010, 2015, and
All right.
2020. Okay, that was 3 times. Okay. And eventually something clicked. Maybe it was the way I explained it the second time that was softer than the first time. Maybe it was the third time when I broke it down all the way in detail from I don't know. But if we stop thinking that we better than the next person and we don't have to break it down to explain it to them, I don't see relationships lasting. I see women constantly wanting to be lied to so they can be okay, and vice versa.
Man, because like being lied to really absolves you from accountability
Yeah.
of your actions. And that's another very hard thing for relationships, but we can argue for women especially to really be able to own up to and accept and be able to do to just take on. It sucks because like the response to a heartfelt Misha, I didn't realize that bothered you. I'm sorry. Your response to that will be what? Straight up.
All right, man.
Your response if it's you know good and well I ain't trying to do that. Now why would I do that to you? Why would I come to you like that? Why would I you know my leg it just broke off and grew back. I hit the power pellet and I grew it back. You know all this stuff. Why would you bring up listen? Why would you think that? What's your response?
I'm probably not going to say nothing because the tone is already elevated. And if I fuel it, it's going to get worse.
Exactly. Now, which is the normal, usual response? The
Both.
first one or the second one? The usual.
I usually get the second one first, and then it'll follow up with the first one.
So that second one, right? So that second one is the one though.
That's my initial
main
that I get.
and that, exactly. And so when that happens to you and is never owned up to, that's how it feels. The same as like you're not listening. You don't understand. And because what really needs to happen in the midst of a heartfelt apology or whatever, I'm sorry, is I need you to acknowledge that what you did hurt. or bothered me.
Understand that what you
But
don't.
you understand that what you did hurt me or bothered me or whatever word you put there. Need you to understand that. Whether it was on purpose or not, it's not the first thing shouldn't come out your mouth. Shouldn't.
Because it don't matter. My feelings hurt.
I'm telling you,
right.
The explanation don't mean as much as we think it do. It just don't. That needs to be acknowledged, and then the explanation can come, and then the change behavior. There's other stuff, but the initial ones just gotta let me know that you know that what you did bothered me, and that doesn't happen so often because because a lot of women just haven't been held to that standard. You know, they've gotten, and this is not a bash because I feel like when I say this, it's gonna sound so bashing, but there's so many more combative women. I'll say it that way. Now it's the automatic response is to just argue. It's the automatic for some, and that the pride in women sometimes is as strong as the ox as well, and it's so strong. I would say this: I think it's so strong because the opposite of pride is shame, humility, and I'm not sure if people in general are set up to really accept and receive shame, but especially not women in most cases, because that brings on feelings of inadequacy and emotional triggers, and I'm not enough, or she's prettier than me, or her food is better than mine. Her conversation, her clothes are better, her body's better. All that stuff kind of comes back from the position of shame. And so the overthinker, the emotional response, I hate getting there. So I'm not going, whatever it takes, I'm going to stay away from there. If I can find a little ounce of anything, I'm going to argue it. When again, the response of, I didn't realize that bothers you, baby, I'm sorry. Give me a kiss. Versus, blah, blah, blah. On either side, too.
I also think silence is golden. As I've stated before, if you just kind of sit there and let a mug just constantly repeat the same shit for them to hear it over and over and over again, and you not say nothing, eventually the stupid shit it'll sound stupid to them. It'll start sounding dumb as shit to them. And then you gonna hear the conversation change slowly. I mean, well, I didn't mean to do it. I mean, you know, all you had to do was come to me I didn't have to do shit because I didn't initiate shit. All you had to do was check your shit from the beginning and realize what I said was really the reality of what it was. I wasn't attacking you. I was just expressing my feelings to you on how your actions made me feel.
Yeah.
Point blank, period. And I didn't feed into it because I really wanted you to, and it took me a long time. It took me a long time learning, okay? Because I'm the clapback queen. It took me a long time to just sit. I didn't bit the sides of my jaws out. Sitting there shutting up.
Shutting up.
I've literally bit the lining out of my jaws because once I'm finna say something, God instantly clench down on that side. And I'm rocking.
I can see that.
Because I see him coming around the corner when he comes. I see him.
All right. Did you just sing the song?
I see him. And I ain't said nothing, so I haven't interrupted those thoughts. I haven't distracted him to want to argue. Because who you gonna argue with, yourself? So now you gotta sit in there and women, stop wanting to have the last word. If you think he lying, run with it. He gonna have a conversation with you a couple weeks later telling you that he went to the pool hall when he told you that he went to the grocery store. Oh, you went to play pool? Why you ain't take me? Now his question gonna be, how you know I want to play pool? Bitch, because you just told me.
You told me.
You told me. Because you didn't cause an argument. So he was chill, right? He wasn't in defense mode to be on. So he just told on himself. Mm-hmm. A lot can happen from you shutting the fuck up. A lot.
There's a
And
whole
that ain't
stage
even
there.
no shady, don't give your no, that's you actually watching the seeds that you've sown, that you planted, you're watching them grow. Without you being right. You ain't always gotta hear I'm right. You ain't always gotta hear that. Sometimes watching them grow should be payment enough from you knowing you right. For me it was.
And then too, is also giving your man respect. And that's always, it's often when we get mad with our partners, they get the worst of us. Like, and if we sit back and not be so emotional and just look at that, like they shouldn't, like I should be in a better place to be able to control myself enough to give the person I love and who I would die for the respect of just let them talk. Sometimes, in an argument, if y'all both there, where it's just gonna go, it's gonna go where it's gonna go. Who's gonna be the
bigger person?
And of course, everybody says, "I'll get tired of it. I'm always a bit." But if that's what's on your heart, that's what you're supposed to do. That's how you was cut. That's how God made you. Because there's a lot of people who that's not even a thought for, but it is one for you, and it does suck to get tired and not to get it back enough to make you feel like it's worth it. But if that's on your heart, that's what you're supposed to do. And pushing it down is gonna hurt you. It's gonna make you too tough to be able to receive what you're supposed to receive. Because we're doing too much. We don't know how to shut up. We so on 10. We live on 9. We live at 9. So if I hear what, and I'm thinking at a 9, I'm immediately on you. Like what? If I'm at a 5 or a 6, I can hear a what and think what that could be. What that person could mean. Oh, that could be the guy down the street who we always mow his lawn. He always say what like that. Because you're more calm and you're not ready to just pounce. But if we own 10, you ready to everything is on your sleeve. Everything is towards us. Everything is taken personal. I could bring to you, Misha, you rub my hand after my piano recital, you squeezing too hard. And you'll hear something. I called your mama the B word. I'd be like, whoa, what? We just have to really get to a place of understanding that we are messed up. I know we've been told that we're perfect. We're kings, we're queens, princesses, and all that other stuff. And
Ain't
you're
never
a
been king
decent
or queen
person.
perfect.
That's the thing. Even being that, nobody is perfect. Everybody get their stuff. But let's just get realistic so we can grow and not have to, because there's another, whatever level you're understanding on, there's another level. Wherever, I don't matter where you're starting at, there's some higher. Which means there's some stuff on that kiddie level that will bother you that on the 4th or 5th grade level, it's not even worth a thought.
Let's hit these before they get.
Yeah, they've been growing.
Denise said, another great topic. Love having more men join in on the conversation. It's always interesting to hear the other side. Ned said, ugh, overthinkers are the worst. OMG.
Oh, my mama though.
Vernisha said, we wouldn't have to overthink if they could communicate. Yeah. Hold on. What I want us to work on 2023 is accountability. I want us to stop saying, if he showed up, I would have been better. If he didn't say this, I wouldn't have went that way. If he would have bought me food, I'd have treated him to this. We wouldn't have to be strong if they didn't do this. We've been saying that for a long, long time, right? And guys are really trying to fix where they're fucked up, right? So at what point are we going to give them credit for trying to fix where they're fucked up? Because if we keep going about it like this, they're going to continue to go about it like, who gives a shit? I tried, but my trying wasn't good enough because you were still bitching about this. You were still complaining about that.
It's the accountability.
Why are we still giving them excuses to be pieces of shit? If you you a piece of shit, right? The more excuses we giving them, the more pieces of shits they are here, they are over there, they are over here. Like it does. Accountability does go both ways, but we can only be accountable for ourselves.
But it but it doesn't go both ways, as in a tit for tat way,
right?
And that's how
a lot of it is
perceived that you're coming off. It's not a tit for tat. It goes both ways. If I bring something to you, Bernicia, that I don't like that you did, I say, Bernicia, I don't like that song choice you did for this week. Your response shouldn't be, well, I didn't like that chord you played on that one song. It shouldn't be that. It should be like, this is, I mean, and I'm using this as a really loose example. I should be able to come to you and tell you something I don't like. And then we talk about that. The response should be about that, not about nothing I did. That's the same exact concept, which I've just learned within the last year or two myself personally. But like, if we're talking about Black Lives Matter, I don't want to hear all lives matter. It's not about if they do or not. This is what we're talking about now. And I want to talk about this in the same sense. That song, let's talk about that song. Instead, the automatic response for most people, though, most people that I know is, what about them chords? What about them chords? And it sucks because nothing gets handled. Like, I'm bringing you, if you had, listen, I hate the song you chose. So I'm bringing it to you now because you just chose it. You was mad at some chords I did whenever. You never said nothing. So you keeping it for ammunition so you can use it when you know something.
Which is why when you now telling him to correct this, he not listening. Because you didn't hit him right when he done it. You hit him once he checked your or vice versa. So that's why the stuff is never really going through. Like Lauren said, if they fixing it. I'm seeing guys go to fix it, and it's proof that it's being fixed, but she'll still come at him about something that he done 5 years ago that didn't have nothing to do with what she asked him to fix. So are you mad about the 5 year ago shit? Or are you mad about him not doing it now? Because he fixed that 5 year ago shit.
Right, that's done.
This is something totally different that you just won't let go because you want to have this sense of control over him for him to continue to bow down to you, in my opinion.
Which is manipulation. 100%. That's exactly how it is. We don't really want, we say we want it. We want the change behavior, but guys are more apt to change stuff like that than women are because the issues in most cases for women have been undealt with for their whole life or for a very good majority of it. So now finally coming to it, I'm asking you to move this couch. You barely strong enough to push a stroller with wheels. So now, you do need to, how I was saying earlier, everybody's stuff ain't the same. Like if I can't take that you can't move a couch, we're not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? If whatever level you're on isn't what I'm on or what I can, handle you moving at that pace, because everything's not equal. But we do this stuff to ourselves. We let this stuff happen.
I think it's repetitive behavior. I think it's
because we keep
that was like I've seen it firsthand. Daughters become their mothers.
Oh, every time.
Sons become their fathers. Like not in a good way, in a bad way. You know what I'm saying? Because the dad decided to stay with the mom, the daughter feel like, well, shit, I can do that with my husband. I ain't got to sleep with him. I ain't got to, show him no affection. I don't have to cater to him. He's still going to be here because my daddy stayed with my mom. So when
that's what we think.
When the reality comes and homeboy check out and she got to figure out who finna come fulfill those bills because he done checked out. He ain't your daddy. He not going to do it how your dad done your mom. He wanted.
That's all I've seen all my life.
But this is not his story though. So either you're gonna readjust your chapters, or you're gonna go at this motherfucker alone. Point blank. Period.
Yeah. our options get less and less too. The
The
older we
older we
get,
get.
the more stubborn we get, the more set in our ways that we got to have it exactly like this. We take the best parts of our last 5 relationships. Let's just say we all 5 of the best things from all of them. We put them on this new. This is our expectation. We create a mold. We create it. And we find we like, oh, let me put him up next to her. Oh, she let me put him up next to him. We trying to find somebody to fit that, and it's messing us up because this shouldn't be there. Of course, have your standards, but if our stuff is real unrealistic, which is another hard pill to swallow, because a bunch of the stuff that we are expecting will never get. Like only 15% of the world are millionaires. And it doesn't sound realistic, but of the world are millionaires or above, which means that's like 1 point something percent of the population. That means the other 99 point something of us is thousandaires. And so to have the expectation of getting a millionaire or becoming a millionaire, even those stats are just, for us to be realistic, 87% of all millionaires are married. 65, I think it says 65% of those millionaires are on their first marriage. We have to just be, being realistic about what we can have is not settling. Because we've been told that we can have the Idris and the Nia Long. You know what I'm saying? And we've had a couple cute ones.
And you probably can, but just the Idris and Nia of your time, okay?
Right. Right. Whatever y'all do. We a little older. Nia Long is still it.
I'm just saying.
Amen. Yeah, but that's probably stuff like it. And I use the extreme example in this case because I really want to drive it home. Just because you want it real bad don't mean you can get it. Just because everybody lied and told you that you're worth it. That do you even want that? Because them top people that we say we want are not monogamous. So you want the guy that drives the Bugatti to act like the dude who drives a Nissan.
Or you want the dude that drive the Bugatti, but deep down inside don't feel like you deserve him. So you just want them because it looks good on you.
Yeah, it could be a thing too, buddy.
But you still ain't even dealt with the ugliest parts of yourself.
Run from them still. What they say, make the main thing, not chasing rabbit holes. And they do, they use it definitely for ammo for later. You talking about this stuff from 3 months ago. Yeah, but we in capitals have to change. It's not just a women. It's definitely not just a women. Definitely not just a guy or girl thing. We both have to. I know. I talk more to and about women, on my platform because the bulk of my followers are women. Number one, and then also I believe y'all got more power than y'all know. I know that. I don't think that.
I agree.
I know that y'all can affect change a lot faster than we can.
I agree.
We're a lot, I won't say dumb, but we are dumb.
They dumb.
It don't take much.
Most respectful way.
It's just what it is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we are the movers and shakers for the most part of the world. That's what it is. That's how it goes. And that's just how we, so we still have that control. But a man will do anything for his woman. I'm telling you, a man will. She can get him to do whatever. But she can't do it acting like him. I'm telling you. I don't care. I had to. I ain't had nobody. This, that. I'm telling you. Your excuse don't mean as much as you think it do. That won't get it there.
I always say, don't no man want to be with another man but a gay man.
Facts. If he ain't sweet, he don't want that meat.
He don't. Like, he just don't. And honestly, I feel like a lot of men still put on the front. when it comes to his woman. Like we know he's strong, we know he can provide and all that. But deep down inside, he want to be soft for you. He wants to be vulnerable with you because he wants to know that he can trust that part within you. You feel what I'm saying? I want to come home. I want to drop my shit. I want to vent to you about my day. I want you to be able to come serve me my dinner and then rub my feet and I rub yours while we still talking and we laughing at the TV show. Listen, honestly, I'm sorry. I start reflecting about my marriage. It takes a lot of work. And if you feel like it's worth it, then you're going to convert and do it. Stop saying what you want and you're not willing to do what God is calling you to do to acquire it. He ain't gonna just give it to you because you say, Jesus, give me my man, send me my husband. I want to marry somebody's son. That's not gonna happen. Or if it does happen, that person is gonna come with so many issues because you weren't specific in what you said. Send me somebody's son.
Right.
You didn't say send me a healed man that's God-fearing, that really wants this with a family, that's successful, that want to build with me, that wants me under whatever. You didn't go there. When I say break it down, I'm talking about go down to the size of his shoe. If
all right,
want it, just say it. Yeah.
All right. So back on the, no, but that's all of that's real. I mean, I agree with all of that, but to add to that. You have to be willing and ready to take what you ask for. A lot of people will automatically say that they want a man of integrity. But can you take it when his standard of integrity
is towards you,
smacks you? When he's unmovable about his standards, can you do it? Some of us want a man who is monogamous. Are you going to withhold it from him or use it like a tool as if it's a reward system type of thing? And that's the thing. Like, if you want a man who's monogamous, he's going to stay home, not cheating. He's going to want sex a lot more than you're probably going to want to give it. Are you ready for that? That's the thing. I know everybody can, oh, yeah, I'm always ready. Until you meet that man that's always ready. Now it's a problem. The dating stage, I was cool. When it gets serious and you got him, you pull back. Oh, I got him. How can stop?
That's when the work began. Bobby just said something profound.
Go ahead, huh?
I'm sorry. Bobby just said something super profound to me. If you study history, and no nation has a man grew higher than their woman because they outlive us and they nurture our nation. We do need our women to rise up. They not huh?
Go ahead.
What's your?
Go ahead. No, finish what you were saying though about the women rising up.
They do want you to be strong, but they want you to be as strong in a feminine way, which we talk about that all the time. You don't have to throw stuff to get your point across. It's actually, in my opinion, more receivable if you have him in a comfortable position. Laying on the couch watching TV, you want a new pair of shoes. I'm just using this as an example. That's the best time to ask. When he's comfortable, he ain't thinking about nothing. You rubbing the top of his head, you rubbing his shoulders. He is so relaxed and he like, before he didn't realize what the question was. So now, boom, you got him. You getting a new pair of shoes.
That's the influence I'm talking about.
All you have to do is know who it is that you're with and know how to play your role. Because after I fought it, we all play roles. It's as simple as that. We all play them. If you're not comfortable in your role, that's not the person for you.
I agree.
For you.
100%. Big Bob say, if you ask me to change, I expose a weak spot that I need you to be strong enough to not hit me where I'm weak. Because that is a thing. When you're vulnerable, it's a little harder for guys, for most of us, to be vulnerable, and we choose to, and you throw it at us, we probably will never do it for you again. No matter how much you sex us, no matter how much whatever you buy for us, that's a delicate spot because the response to that is to hit you in your mouth, and we can't do that. We can't do that. So I still like her, so I'm not going to do that part no more. Which is honestly hurting us more because I can't come. You can't be my peace. Think about that. You can't be my peace in 2023 because you so overly emotional. You jump in and you throw my stuff at me when I'm down. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Nisha says that's a good topic. Changes to what we have seen. Y'all discuss one Tuesday, breaking the generational dysfunction. That's a good suggestion. Now, we can definitely put that on the list. It probably won't be for next week, but we can definitely maybe throw that on the list though.
For sure.
Text that to me. Bobby said, forget a million. Write the blueprint to help in the generational poorness. Oh, okay.
Sacrifice.
Yeah, it's tough. Nate just said, yes, learning your mate, not just the bad spots. Right, because again, like there's ugly stuff about every single one of us. We got to really know that.
Right.
You know, like some of the stuff that you do, Eric hates. Some of the stuff I do, Ashley hates. Hates.
I'm a yeller. Okay. I'm a yeller. So when I get to a point, I yell. Like that's just what I do. And that's a trigger for him. So for mind you, my husband's a vet. So I had to really take into consideration that I may be doing way more harm triggering him than just trying to get my point across. So that's why I've learned his way of communication is just me saying, no, what I said was, so I get you patronizing me. I'll go through that. But if I don't break it down like that, we're just going to be combative all night. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't want me to yell, you can't control how I deliver it. I'm not yelling. You asked me not to yell. You didn't say don't deliver. Compromise, give and take. Yeah, Bob said if you start screaming, I shut down. I think a lot of guys are like that. And us as women, we're so emotional that we go to screaming, right? Because that's just what we know, right?
Yeah.
It don't work. It don't go nowhere. It don't penetrate. They don't listen. They shut down. They tune out. They go to the game. They put their headphones music on. They're gonna find a way to make it uncomfortable for you while comfortable for them, right? So it's all in learning your mate, really paying attention and learning the patterns because everybody got patterns. Everybody has patterns. And if you've been with a person for more than 2 or 3 years and haven't recognized some patterns, you're not paying attention.
If y'all been in 6 months and you don't know no patterns, you ain't really in. That's crazy. Yeah, like you said, you have to know who you with. You gotta know who you got, know who you dealing with. And like realistically, do you want to be right or do you want the result? I would think, everybody's answer would be, I want the result, I want the result. Mm-hmm. But that comes with doing the work. So maybe you are right, Kamisha. I should not eat egg whites. I shouldn't eat egg whites. Okay, you're right. But if you keep hollering at me about it, I'm eating the egg whites. No, it's not right, but you know that's the outcome. So if you said, Emery, I like the way you make the omelets with the egg yolk, with egg beaters. What's gonna happen? I'm gonna make them egg beaters omelets. So on this instance, I ain't eat the egg whites. Mm-hmm. A win is a win. Do that again. And then you start buying the egg beaters or whatever, Mm-hmm. But I'm using that to really show how women can definitely have better control. Y'all want the control anyway. Mm-hmm. You want to do it by trying to match us. It's not gonna ever work. I promise you. Either they'll shut down or they're gonna hit you in your mouth. That's just the usual. We're gonna go and go and go until it reaches a point where we need to shut our mouth. Or we're gonna crack you in your mouth. And it's just no good for anybody. But if you want the result, if you want egg beaters now instead of the whites, because whatever you've been reading on CNN, whatever, You can get it. You can get it, but if you only got one way, you're gonna lose. Especially if that one way ain't even working. It ain't even working though. But it's really not working. And you're right. What you're saying is 100% right, and it's still not working. What we gonna do? What you gonna do? Actually, you're right. Plastic is bad. It kills turtles. Okay. Yes. But look how you bring it to me underhanded, talking about my use of plastic all my life
I
and
need to eat this
disrespectful me.
damn chicken tortilla soup. So them turtles gonna have to hold out for one more go round.
For real though, it's so simple, man. Because y'all can really affect change. But then y'all, if we can just switch our modes back, get up out of sports mode. That's what I'm gonna start saying to women. Get out of sports mode. If you want what you want, you can get it, but you're not gonna get it. And most you know, and if you get it, do you want a man that lets you get it like that? Do you really want that?
Some do. It's easier.
Yeah, because they don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then do your thing. Have at it. I mean, I don't know how to help that.
Say that shit looks good on you. For real.
Yeah, because we do miss Ned saying like powering down like Windows 97. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're not paying attention. It's just really ugly. It's just that's like I was saying. This is one of the major reasons why I talk to women so much, because I swear y'all can do what you can get what you want. I get that. You having to be more aggressive in life to be able to make it and do what you got to do. Okay. I do believe that we should be working on the whole time, working on not having that be there, because we all say, I would love to. Oh, I've heard that on shows and stuff. Like, I would be submissive if he led properly, but don't really define what leading properly looks like. And by not doing that, by not really defining it, then you can always move the goalposts every time you want to get into an argument. Every time you want to justify why you're not submitting, well, why things aren't different, why you're not listening, why you got to always be combative, why if you don't really define it, then you can always move that goalpost. But it should be simple. We'll save that part for another show.
You should also know what you want.
I agree.
Make sure you know what you want before you asking. Because if you making unrealistic goals, then no one's going to reach them. So make sure you know what it is that you're asking for.
Yeah. And then I think we should be good. Last thing that I do want to say before we close up is I believe accountability will heal a lot of relationships. In most cases, it just doesn't matter what you did. What matters most is the willingness to understand and to be able to acknowledge that what you did hurt me. And then you take your responsibility for it, and accountability is complete with the changed behavior. That comes when we're honest. And us being honest is the major topic of this total conversation. The lack of being honest. We've lied to women, we've lied to men, but we've definitely lied to women. So much so that when the truth is brought at times, it's taken as an attack. And so now we're here because we've been told our whole time that you ain't fat, I love your curves, girl, but the fat dude is fat. The broke guy is broke. But the girl that's extremely loud and boisterous and all this other stuff, the men are just intimidated by you. You just strong. But the same as, he's mean and he's rude. As men, we got to stop lying to the women. We have to stop lying to our daughters. I think that's where it really got to go back to. We got to stop lying to our daughters. And then, the generations will change, but I'm not sure if that'll be able to help right now. But this has been another Crucial Convo. I am your host, Emery.
And it's your girl, F.L.O.R.
And until next time, we out this thing. Uh-oh.
It's coming.
There we go.